Given the amount of time it's taken the tour and LIV to come to some kind of resolution, are you surprised that it's been in limbo this long?
I guess, but I also, I don't know. I mean, there's just so much that goes into it. Like, I think I'm glad I don't know more, or I'm not more invested, because I think it would be mentally draining, physically draining. It just would be exhausting. And yeah, I think it's very obvious we all just want it to get resolved, but it's just something that's pretty serious. So it's not like you or anybody can say, all right, this is what we're going to do, without it being perfect. And I think it obviously, everybody needs to be on the same page, you know, and I think you know, when it gets to that level, I don't know if, you know, the government's getting involved. Like, there's just so many things above my pay grade that are involved that I don't know about, that I probably shouldn't or can't speak to, because there's just so many things involved in it. But I've obviously, like the rest of us, you know, we'd love for it to be done sooner rather than later.
As a follow-up, when there is the few times there might be conversation amongst players, do you get the sense that fatigue has set in with not just with yourself, but with all the players?
It definitely has. I mean, I think this is like the third time I've played this tournament while this has been going on in some way, shape, or form. So, yeah, I think we're kind of like past the level of exhaustion. At least it's not consuming everything we're being asked about. You know, you just get a couple things here and there, but there's just so many of us really on both sides, both us on tour and I think the LIV players, that we don't really know what's going on, and we're just playing golf and hoping for the best, and because there's a lot that we don't know and that we can't control or do, letting the higher ups do it.
We have time for just a couple more. We'll do Doug first, and then Adam.
You mentioned the 3 years. Has LIV been good for golf? Would we be playing for you, not us, obviously, playing for $25 million? Would the players be taking greater ownership of things if not for LIV?
I think you'd be stubborn, and as stubborn as I am, to say that, you know, a lot of things that have happened have been because of them and what's gone on. I mean, you know, there's a handful of guys, or there's a couple of guys, you know, like a Phil or a Bryson. How they went about it maybe isn't exactly how I would have, but they did make a lot of points or say some things that had some value to them, or had some truth. But it is just how it all transpired. It obviously wish it just could have gone differently, but that's neither here nor there. But I do think that a lot of things that have happened on our tour and in our game are because of that. Now, it's hard to say, has it made the game of golf better? Because it's you know, you can take both sides. It's like, yeah, it's maybe done some things on tour that have improved the tour, but the game of golf as a whole, if it's separated and different and in creating some animosity, then that's not necessarily better. And it's hard to say. I mean, you can make arguments on both sides, but there's definitely been some good and bad on both. But I wish it obviously could have just been all good and gone on how it was somehow.